Today's sponsor is Vincero, luxury watches for the young hustlers. We'll talk about them more later in the show. On February 16th, Black Panther clawed its way into theaters and our hearts, and it changed the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it, with a movie full of visceral action, drool-worthy technology, and perhaps best of all, especially for a Marvel movie, a sympathetic villain that you actually cared about. With the inevitable Black Panther 2 looming on the horizon, we must now shift our gaze to what lies ahead for both T'Challa and the Wakandan people in Phase 4. Specifically, what does it mean for the villains? How will they manage to outdo Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger? Well, they might not be able to, but on today's episode of The Dan Cave, I have a list of the best Black Panther villains that we absolutely need to see in a sequel. Notice anything different? See? See? The Skrulls, Marvel's resident shape-shifting warmongering alien menace, are gonna be major players in Captain Marvel and potentially beyond. So what if these green meanies invaded Wakanda as they tried to do in the comics? The currently untitled Avengers 4 is probably going to be Secret Invasion, the arc in which it was revealed that Skrulls had secretly replaced people all across the globe, including some of our greatest heroes. So what if in Black Panther 2, T'Challa not only had to deal with another lesser threat, but also the threat of sleeper agents and an alien invasion within his own kingdom? Well, for starters, it'd be seriously badass because in the comics, Wakanda's basically the only nation in the world who's able to resist the Skrull invasion. They greet them with green heads on pikes and leave their bodies piled up with a warning against trying what they did. Honestly, Marvel needs to do this if for no other reason than the time that Black Panther took on a Super Skrull single-handedly and proceeded to shatter its limbs and pluck out its eyeballs. You know, Super Skrull? Something the Fantastic Four can barely handle on its own? Well, I mean, then again, Black Panther did make his auspicious debut by inviting the FF to Wakanda to hunt them for sport, so maybe he just has that entire corner of the Marvel Universe on lock. Mephisto. How do you follow up the story of an exiled heir to the throne seeking vengeance and acceptance while instigating an insurrection at the same time? With the goddamn devil himself. Black Panther's fought all types of baddies during his day, but one of his most devious encounters was with Mephisto, the MCU's equivalent of Satan. What did Black Panther do when Mephisto captured his trusty CIA pal Everett Ross? Well, if you said, walk right up to him, lay him out with a single punch, then proceed to rip out his frickin' heart, then go ahead and collect $200 of fake money. I'm not gonna pay you. You know, that old chestnut, that old I hear Wakanda has great healthcare, but this is ridiculous chestnut. Between the mysticism of Doctor Strange and Black Panther's transcendental Jalia plane, the MCU is now firmly in the land of the supernatural, so a superheroic slugfest and a devilish battle of wits with the devil himself would make for one hell of a sequel. Brimstone! Malice. Now everyone agrees that Lupita Nyong'o's Nakia was one of the most badass parts of Black Panther. As a Wakandan intelligence agent, Nakia proved that she has serious skills when it comes to skullduggery, but she can also hold her own in a fight. In the comics, Nakia was dangerously obsessed with T'Challa, even going so far as to try and murder his then girlfriend Monica Lynn in an effort to claim him for herself. As a result, she lost her position in the Dora Milaje, which yes, is different than what she did in the movie, and found herself in the clutches of the madman Achebe, who psychologically tortured her and left her for dead. She was then found by Eric Killmonger, who used something called the Resurrection Altar to give her superpowers, then sent her on a mission of revenge against Black Panther and all of the women in his life. You know, because comics. But in all seriousness, seeing Lupita Nyong'o turn into a badass assassin who cannot be stopped sounds like exactly what the MCU needs right now. Doctor Doom. With the impending acquisition of 20th Century Fox by Disney, a whole host of characters will suddenly be available to play around in the MCU sandbox, and most exciting of all is one of Marvel's greatest and archest villains, Doctor Doom, who could go on to be one of Black Panther's greatest villains if they play their cards right. Now, not only is Doctor Doom a brilliant scientist and an inventor, but he's incredibly strong, commands an army of hyper-intelligent robots, and is usually 3 to 6 steps ahead of everybody else. Now, the best way to marry these two studios' character pools would be for Black Panther 2 to follow the Doom War storyline. It basically has Black Panther working with Deadpool, an elite strike force of the Dora Milaje called the Midnight Angels, members of the X-Men, and others like the Fantastic Four in order to defeat Doctor Doom, who's stolen all of Wakanda's vibranium. Honestly, it's a story full of political intrigue, tough decisions, and incredibly intelligent people constantly outsmarting one another. Case in point, Doom basically forces Black Panther to destroy Wakanda by rendering all of its vibranium inert. And if that's not cool enough for you, to track Doom down, Black Panther develops a whole new kind of science called shadow physics that combines alchemy and quantum physics. Yeah, what's the last thing you invented? Go ahead, Kyle, try to explain that one. I'm waiting. Sincero. Namor. Wakanda may be one of the strongest and most technologically advanced nations on Earth, but their dominance doesn't extend to the ocean's briny depths. There, Namor the Submariner rules over the highly advanced militaristic kingdom of Atlantis with an iron fist and a winged foot. As an incredibly powerful king of an incredibly powerful nation, Namor is understandably a total dickbag, and in keeping with his tradition of being the goddamn worst, Namor is also responsible for one of the greatest tragedies in Wakandan history. When he was possessed by the Phoenix Force, Namor drowned thousands of Wakandans with a massive tidal wave, leaving T'Challa to basically rule over a nation of the dead. Now, if you put Namor into a Black Panther sequel, you're gonna get action, heart-wrenching drama, uncomfortable speedos, and murders most foul. In other words, exactly what you want from a sequel. In the meantime, Kevin Feige needs to put on his negotiating hat so that Marvel can secure the rights to their answer to Aquaman back from Universal. So finally, we can see these two meaty monarchs, T'Challa and Namor, slug it out on the big screen.
I dig it.
Imperious Rex, baby! The Illuminati. No, I'm not talking about our lizard people masters. What better villain could there be than some of the greatest heroes in the Marvel Universe? The Illuminati is the shadowy cabal consisting of Iron Man, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Black Bolt, and Doctor Strange, and at one point Black Panther as well, who came together to use their collective intelligence and influence to manipulate world events to prevent potential catastrophes from coming to pass. Yeah, sounds like a great idea, boys. The only problem is that despite their good intentions, they have a god-awful track record. They launched Hulk into space, which blew up spectacularly in their faces when he returned to Earth with an army hell-bent on revenge. They also collected all the Infinity Stones so that no one else could use them for evil, which of course led to villains like the Hood finding out about it and nearly stealing them all. And then there's that whole debacle where the multiverse began collapsing in on itself and the Illuminati had to make decisions to save their universe by using a superweapon to obliterate another universe, which you can imagine how that went. So how would that fit into the MCU? Well, with Wakanda established as a major player on the world stage and the Black Panther as a force with which to be reckoned, introducing a secret society of the MCU's most powerful players and the murky politics that follow could make for one hell of a follow-up story to the first Black Panther movie. And if it winds up taking us all the way to a cinematic version of Secret Wars, then so be it. I mean, interdimensional Game of Thrones with Doctor Doom as a god king, that sounds like exactly what I want to put in my eyeballs. And those are some of the greatest Black Panther villains that would make for an awesome sequel. But tell me, what villain do you want to see in a Black Panther sequel? Let me know in the comments below and give me a villainous thumbs up while you're there. Now be sure to like and subscribe or else you might miss next week's show about the story of a prince of a wealthy African nation who escaped his arranged marriage by coming to New York City where he got bitten by a radioactive spider and was forced to fight Michael Keaton in a wingsuit in Spider-Man Homecoming to America. Until next time, keep on digging. Hey there! Are you looking to increase your perceived success and wealth without paying a huge price tag? Of course you are! Vincero has a modern contemporary style that looks bold and professional. Get the watch, built for being a boss, or even a boss baby, in which case you would be Oscar nominated. It's time to step up your game and stand out from the crowd. Who wants a boring, naked, stupid wrist? No, you want a luxury watch, but it doesn't have to cost you a fortune, and you'll see why when you check out Vincero, because every watch is manufactured and quality checked by hand before it's shipped out to you, the customer. Now, this is the kind of attention to detail and dedication to quality that you typically only see with luxury watch brands that are over $500, but Vincero watches won't break the bank because they start at a little over $100. Now, my Vincero watch, I like it a lot. It's got a nice leather strap. It goes all my favorite stuff, whether I need to wear it for like a fancy occasion or if I just want to dress up a casual outfit, like right now. Anyway, I've got a lot of compliments on it. I really like it. It's very comfortable. Now, with over 5,000 five-star reviews and a 2-year warranty, you can shop with confidence. And I mean, you guys gotta check them out because I know you'll love their watches just as much as I do. So go to vincerocollective.com/cavefeb18. That's vincerocollective.com/cavefeb18 and enter the promo code DAN, D-A-N, to get 15% off your entire order. Don't blend in, stand out. Get a Vincero watch at vincerocollective.com/cavefeb18. Shing. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At Alex Way asks, what's the best superhero item, gadget, or tool? Cap, shield, Batman's utility belt, etc. Well, great question, Alex. The answer in my heart is definitely Spider-Man's web shooters. I mean, not only can you perform all manner of acrobatic feats with it, but you can use it to prevent yourself from becoming a pavement Jackson Pollock. You can affix your backpack to a wall. You can even break Gwen Stacy's neck. Wait, no. Wow, no. Okay, I'd mostly want to use it to like swing around the city, but wait, no, I'd probably also need like radioactive spider powers or I just like plummet to my death because I do not have that upper body strength. Wow, Really chose poorly here, huh? But tell me, what piece of superhero gear would you want the most? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.